Some built-in types. Let's look at the different types of values that are available to us in Python, or at least the ones that we're going to take a close look at. We'll start with these, which we'll go ahead and run, and we'll look here. And what we see when we go ahead and run this is that 2 is an int. An int is a type of object in Python, corresponding, of course, to an integer. 2.2 is a float. A float means a floating point number, which is basically a number with a decimal value, it has an integer portion and then has a fractional or decimal portion. Floats are not the same as ints. If you have an int 2, it is not the same thing as the float 2.0. Then the next value type we have is a string. By putting it inside quotes, we wind up with a string. Then any sort of relational test, greater than, less than, and so forth, is going to result in a true or false value, which we call a boolean, which is shown here as bool. This is a module, of course. Math.tan is a function. F is a function we defined ourselves up here. That's also a function. And if you take the type of a type, you wind up with type. We've mentioned that it's slightly different when you run inside standard Python. Of course, we have to import math. And you notice they're almost identical. The built-in function or method is what came out for math.tan as opposed to over here where we just got function. But those are basically the same. There are some other types for us to consider later in the course. We'll deal with exceptions and ranges and lists and tuples and sets, dictionaries and complex numbers. But for now, the list of types right here are the ones you should be comfortable with.